Hi, my name is Danting, and I'm an assistant researcher with the healthcare team, and I'm here to answer some end facts about healthcare for you. Would you want your children to study medicine in Hong Kong or outside of Hong Kong, and why? So let's start by saying that there are a lot of top-tier medical schools outside of Hong Kong that offer a world-class education, training, and research opportunities, and it'd be wonderful to be able to study there. But if I had children, imaginary children that were smart enough to study medicine, and I wanted them to practice in Hong Kong, then certainly I would hope for them to study medicine in Hong Kong. So our Hong Kong Foundation recently launched a report about the doctor manpower shortage, and we interviewed quite a number of non-locally trained doctors, a lot of whom reported issues with, say, redundant internship requirements after the license examination, limited specialist training opportunities, and unclear and somewhat unfair specialist recognition criteria. These barriers acted as a disincentive for them to come to Hong Kong in the first place and made it difficult for them to stay in Hong Kong. So, which is to say, if I had imaginary children, I would certainly hope for them to study medicine in Hong Kong. Public sector doctors in Hong Kong are some of the most well-paid, yet why do so few return to practice? So the pay scale in Hong Kong's public hospitals is certainly an incentive to relocate to Hong Kong, but many doctors in our research process have told us that they were unable or uncertain of their ability to practice and relocate to Hong Kong. But beyond barriers into Hong Kong's medical system, such as internship opportunities or limited specialist training opportunities, or even unfair and unclear specialist recognition criteria, many non-locally trained doctors also face common issues of relocation to Hong Kong. For instance, Hong Kong has a notoriously high cost of living, including exorbitant rental prices, and for those with family and children, they might face uncertainties about what, for instance, schools for their children, or having to re-establish and create a new social and professional network. Ultimately, many of the doctors that we interviewed stated that their primary motivation for coming back to Hong Kong was familial ties, but the combined burden of professional and personal barriers made the decision to relocate a very difficult one. Some say that the license examination is the fairest qualification assessment for non-locally trained doctors. Even local medical students must take similar exams. So why don't we see a similar pushback? Most non-locally trained doctors actually agree that the licensing examination is one of the fairest assessment standards possible, especially for new doctors, to test their clinical aptitude and knowledge. This was never quite in question. However, a lot of doctors have expressed that they were discouraged from the license examination because of the rigidity and lack of support measures for the exam. So for instance, a lot of doctors actually have to physically come back to Hong Kong in order to take the exam, compared to other jurisdictions where they can probably take it in their place of practice and current work. Additionally, a lot of doctors have said that they don't receive clear revision materials, which doesn't help them to understand the depth and breadth of the examination content. Experienced doctors have also expressed that because candidates are assessed under knowledge of basic science, that then there is a mismatch between the examination content and their higher level of clinical aptitude and specialist practice. As a result, experienced doctors are being tested on content that they don't have to use, and that they are spending a lot of additional preparation time that could be better served elsewhere.
想只係用幾分鐘就掌握唔同政策議題，即刻 subscribe 我哋嘅 channel， 睇埋其他片。